Hello, this is the video for Daf Samekh Tet, page 69 of Masechet Ketubot. I am Joshua Kulp. And again, you might be able to tell I am sitting here again at Machane Ramah in New England. If you, again, are an alumni of Ramah, or specifically of Ramah in New England, well, a special greetings to you. I wanted to go over something that comes up in the middle of this daf, and that is the collection of debts. We read over here, there's a debate between a Maimar and Rav Ashi, whether a daughter is who comes to collect her dowry from her father's property is considered a collector of a debt, or is she considered an inheritor. If she's considered an inheritor, then all bets are off. She collects equally with her brothers, and they can't say to her, take this part, take that part, because they're not really giving her something that they owe her. She's really taking something directly from her father. But that argument loses out. That's a Maimar's position. Rav Ashi wins out very quickly on this daf. The Gemara says that a Maimar changes his mind, that she is considered a creditor and not an inheritor. But how the Gemara goes on and says, well, who is she a creditor to? Is she a creditor of her father? Her father owes her that money, or is she a creditor of her brother or brothers? And the nafkamina, the difference between a creditor of her father and the creditor of her brothers, will be whether she will collect it from medium land, right, from medium level quality land, or will she be a collector from the worst land of her father? And I thought I would go over a little bit excuse me, I'm just moving this for a second, a little bit of the background to the laws of who collects from the better land and who collects from the worst land to help us understand this. We should note that today we won't really think in these terms. We think $1,000 worth of land is the same as $1,000 worth of land. Now, it's true that if it's good land, for $1,000 you're going to get a smaller amount, and in bad land you're going to get a larger amount. But it's really, everything is sort of, in our market economy, fungible. If you give me $1,000 worth of bad land, I want better land, I could just sell that $1,000 worth of bad land and buy $1,000 worth of good land. It doesn't seem that the Gemara thinks that way, and they seem to believe that good land is inherently better than bad land, even of the same value. In other words, if somebody were to get a portion of good land that's equal in value to a portion of bad land, we would say that good land is the same value, because when we turn it into money, it's the same amount. But they would say the good land is inherently better than the bad land. So just very briefly, this comes up in the beginning of Mishnah Gitin in the 5th chapter, and there's certain sense to it. So if I damage somebody, I have to pay them back with the best land because I'm at fault. If I owe them money, I'm a debtor, right? Then I have to pay them back with medium land because there's, both parties are sort of equal. The creditor and the lender are not morally better or worse than the other, and it's just a simple debt. It gets a little more thorny when it comes to the marriage document. According to one opinion, the marriage document, the marriage debt is paid off with the worst land, in which you might say, well, what did the woman do so badly that she deserves the worst land? And I think that this reflects an incentive to the husband to get married. Remember that if we make the ketubah payment too difficult, too burdensome on him, then there will be a more of a hesitance on husbands to get married. And in order to encourage marriage, at least the dominant opinion here says that he can get away with paying a lower amount of land, or a lesser land. Rabbi Meir says he has to pay Benonit, the middle level land. But the rabbis, I think, feel that they have a little bit of a place to play here. In essence, a woman is a creditor. Her husband owes him that money. But if we want to encourage men to get married, where we might make it financially a little bit more lenient on them. So that's a little bit of their economic thoughts, a little bit of the background. Again, it appears in the beginning of Mishnah Gitin, a little bit of the background on worse, middle level, and best land.